Keith and I did this podcast last time you were here last year, and so there we learned all about you, how you grew up, your family, bad relationships, illegitimate children. If you want to know any of that, you can go back. It's archived. And so we were wondering if we were even going to do it or not. And then you brought up to me that you have done something with this little tour, this little run, that you haven't done in a long, long time, and that is drive, be on the road. Right. Something that Toby probably does more. So how's it been? You left New York. Mm-hmm. Yeah? It's great.
I left New York on Sunday. Actually, I had a corporate event in Indianapolis Saturday. Flew back Sunday morning, immediately got in my car, packed it up, got in my car, and drove to Washington, D.C. on Sunday night, hung out with some friends. Monday, drove from Washington to Charlotte, hang out with my aunt and uncle. Oh. And then yesterday drove from Charlotte to here, 10.5 hours.
So even though you're very, very successful now, you're still staying with friends and family along the way. That's interesting.
Because I'm very social, and whenever I come into town, they always like, well, you got to let us know next time you're in town. We'll go hang out. So I'm like, all right.
Well, you can hang out, but
they insist. I'm like, all right, let's do this.
So you stay in a bed.
I love it.
You stay in a bed with like horses on it and stuff like that.
Dude, there was one time I stayed the only room that was available.
Yeah.
Their mom kept like her doll collection. Oh. At their house. It was you ever wake up at 3 in the morning with 100 dolls staring at you?
Well, once, but I didn't plan it. I'm telling you that right now. I was like, whose house is this? How much trouble am I in? And Toby, you're based out of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Now, do you mainly stay in L.A. or do you hit the road and burn up the tires and get out there and?
I'm on the road about half the time, in L.A. about half the time.
And so, do you go do these? Now, what's your run gonna be? Now, your total tour, Keith Alberstadt's. No, not yours, Toby. Your run this time. Where you go? You're going.
I'm here through Sunday. Then I drive to Atlanta.
Right.
Doing a comedy festival there, and then from there I go to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Drive back to New York on April 8th.
So about 2,000 miles. Probably.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah. What are you driving?
I love it. I got the old Maxima.
You got a Nissan Maxima?
I do. No, a Saturn Maxima. Yes, Nissan.
I was waiting for that.
Get him.
And what do you drive?
I actually just bought a new car. I bought a Ford Focus.
Ooh, very, very, very trendy.
When I say new, I mean 2005.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
That's pretty new.
Yeah,
that's comedy. That's stand-up comedy new.
Yeah,
as far as that goes. And so you had to go with the gas mileage thing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you, what is the last? Now, are you still, Toby? Are you still doing a lot of these little runs where you play instead of going to a club for a week like this? Because these are the nice clubs. These are I would hope.
Yeah. No,
but there's a lot of these little runs, and we've all done it, where you do a series of one-night shows in bars that don't know. The people in the bar don't even know you're going to be there sometimes.
Yes.
Right?
Kamikaze shows.
When's the last one of those you did that comes to mind? Anyone fresh on your mind that was...
well, there was one where we're performing and there was no stage and we're performing in front of the door.
In front of
about earlier.
The front door.
Yes.
I don't mind that. You know what I mean? Because that way you can just bolt the hell out of there pretty quick. I hate when they put you in the corner where you can't get out. You know. So you're by the front door. So people are entering.
People are entering right past you, but usually they're leaving right past you. That was happening more.
Just walking by?
Yeah, just walking. Well, I mean, sometimes this is like literally, it's true. I told my act, but they'd be like, "Oh, I'm going for a smoke," and then they would just leave.
Sure. Well, that's good. At least
there's also a DJ right behind you.
I think that cord's
yeah.
Stick it in the mic stand. I don't know what the hell. It's cheap shit. I think I got it from that same bar. The cord. Can you remember? I mean, is there one that stands out?
There's totally one that stands out.
All right.
Years ago, I was performing in Knoxville, and the manager said, "Hey, if you want on your way back to Nashville, there's a college. They're doing a college show at the Roane County Community College. A little extra cash to pick up. It's on your way." So yeah, sure, why not? So the other comic and I, he was going the same direction. I'm like, yeah, we'll do it. So we get out there. It's first of all, there's things that some people don't know about comedy. Comedy has to be done at night in order for it to be like the optimum sort of comedy, and it has to be dark. This was daytime, outside, and it was an all ages welcome back to school, like going back to school festival. There was a radio truck blasting music. There was I followed a magician doing magic tricks. My stage was a wooden gazebo, and they had no idea the show was supposed to happen. So I'm just getting all these blank stares, and
there's a music box going on.
There was that. That's exactly what happened when I was performing at the Roane County Community College. Somebody's music box was going on. As I'm performing, the magician is packing up his stuff behind me. It was horrible. It was brutal. Yeah, I call them kamikaze shows, where you spring it on people. They have no idea what the heck's going on.
You walk in. There was the one I liked. I was the first one to play the Anniston, Alabama Show Palace, 1,000-seat boot scooting bar, right? And so we're setting up for it in the afternoon, and one of the doormen, huge doorman, is standing there, and I'm telling him, I said, you know, really, if you can, as much as possible, if we can keep people focused and not talking too loud, down to a minimum, I can do a better show. He goes, you want to even have a heckler? And he turns around, and he's got the butt of a 9mm hanging out of the back of his pants. And he goes, I can pick one person out of a crowd very easily. It's all right, man. Awesome. Made me feel a little more comfortable. That actually made me feel comfortable. That's how bad this gig was. Bad gigs. No,
I did a Christmas show. I was booked to do this at somebody's house. It was in their living room. And I told them, I said, look, because it was an all-ages thing, and I said, look, here's the thing. I am a clean comic, but kids aren't going to be entertained. Right. You're not going to be offended. You're not going to squirm, but your kids there are not going to be entertained. They said, no, it'll be fine. Sure enough, I get there. They're not paying attention. The kids aren't. The parents aren't paying attention because they're trying to control the kids. So the show's going horribly wrong. Then all of a sudden, I have this epiphany, like, I've got nieces and nephews. I know how to talk to kids. I'll just do some little crowd interaction. I said, hey, sweetie, what'd you ask for from Santa Claus? And she started, telling me, the doll and with this and that. I'm like, oh, that's very nice. I'm, playing small talk. Then the place is starting to settle down. Like all the kids, like, well, he's going to ask me what I want from Santa Claus. So everybody starts chilling. Before I can ask the next question, she goes, what did you ask for from Santa Claus? And I said, well, I haven't seen him yet, but when I do, I'm going to ask him for my dignity back. And I said, all right, thank you, good night.
Do you remember one like that?
Yeah, I was booked to do a diabetes fundraiser one year, and that's not a good start to the story. But they forgot I was there. I was the only comedian on the bill. It was all bands and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So they forget I'm there until the very end. So I was supposed to go on at like 11. They put me on at, I think, like 1:45 in the morning. And my intro is, all right, and now everybody, the band you came to see, Ziva. Oh, wait, while they set up comedy from Toby.
That's horrible.
And I go up, and they're literally tuning their instruments behind me so you can hear the guitar going off. And I don't remember much about the gig. I remember my opening joke, which I had visualized in my mind to like a sold-out 11 p.m. crowd, was, I think a variety show is an amazing idea for a diabetes fundraiser, because last year we sold lemonade and cookies and 12 people died.
They've thought it through this year.
Yeah. Wow. And the best part was, as I said that, the guitarist looks at me and goes, 12 people died? That's great.
Oh. One of my first along that lines was a guy came into the club. This was back, we've been here for 25 years. This was probably 15 years ago or longer. And he was with the Baltimore Orioles. And you know how they do those fantasy camps, you know, where guys pay to, you know, play baseball when they're too old to be doing it. And, and they were having it right here in town. So he goes, at the end of the fantasy camp, we have a banquet. You know, it's an awards banquet for everybody. And he goes, why don't at the end of the banquet you do some comedy? I go, oh, that sounds great. Money was good. And I said, I'll work up some, I'll put together some baseball themed stuff. He goes, no. Don't worry about that. They'll be baseballed out. I've seen you a million times. Just do your thing. So go, and the awards start. Well, I learned early on, you guys know this, never follow awards.
Oh, right.
Never follow awards, because they always are going to last 45 minutes and they last 2 hours. So the awards just go on and on and on and on and on. And then the last guy to give the award. I have no idea who this guy is, but everybody in the room knows who this guy is. He's a big deal. The funniest son of a bitch you've ever seen in your entire life. For 15 minutes, I'm belly laughing. All baseball jokes, all inside, everything. The guy that hired me looks at me and goes, maybe this wasn't a good idea. I go, you are correct. So he goes, but I hired you, you know, let's go ahead and do it. So he literally, my introduction was, ladies and gentlemen, in hindsight, wow. Yes, in hindsight, maybe I didn't realize how long this was going to go, but we've hired a comedian, a collective, oh no. Yeah, he's a very funny guy. Let's bring him up, Les McCurdy. So I did like 10 minutes to complete silence. They're just patronizing me, hoping this won't go long, but I'm hired to do 45 minutes to get my money. So then 15 minutes into it, I look at the crowd and I go, here's the deal. I am hired to run y'all the hell out of here. The quicker you leave, the quicker I can get off stage. Otherwise, I have to stay here for 45 minutes. Please leave. And they didn't. Oh. They didn't. And then finally, 20 minutes into it, one table in the back got up to leave, and I stopped the whole show and I went, they are doing the right thing. Get the hell out.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Yes.
Is that silly string?
Yes, that is silly string up
Why
there.
Is there silly string on there?
Well, this is a clean show, and all I can say is that we have a hypnotist that comes here sometimes. And he does a late show that is the over-the-top, dirty, you know, XXX rated hypnosis show.
So what you're saying is this will resemble the
something that would shoot out with velocity.
So I'm having Motel 6 flashbacks.
Kind of, sort of. Let's just say I think we have a mature crowd and they can figure it out.
Wow.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and you can bring
your black lights away. People.
You can bring the house lights up a little bit. If we have any questions at all, anything you're curious about, anything at all that you would like to ask Keith or Toby or myself, we'll do that for just a few minutes, and then we'll get the hell out of here, or we can just get the hell out of here. Anything at all? Yes.
Hey Keith, why didn't you put the sunblock on when you were driving?
I know, man. I noticed that today when I was getting ready. Good call. We went paddleboarding, and every inch except the freaking scalp, every inch of my body got sunblock except right there. So
that's when you first realize you're losing your hair.
Oh, it's the worst.
Nobody realizes they're losing their hair until you get the top of your head sunburned.
Yep.
Anything else? What's that? Sing the song.
I sang The Devil Went Down to Georgia earlier.
Oh, we didn't really sing it. You kind of
they clapped
did it
along.
like a poem.
Right.
But he doesn't really sing it in the song.
Charlie
either.
Daniels.
What's that? So you guys have sat through an entire show of comedy, and you're a little disappointed that there was not music. Is that what I'm getting at this point in time? Really? Wow. That's a special kind of disappointment, isn't it, fellas? We've worked very hard, and all we had to do was play a fucking banjo.
Or a fiddle. A fiddle.
Fiddle. Devil Went Down to Georgia. Looking for a fiddle to steal or something.
Google that, young lady. What's your name? Catherine? Lauren.
Lauren, do you know the devil went down to... You do now.
She didn't know the devil went down to George.
So I bet you don't even know Leave a Long-Haired Country Boy Alone. How sad. Oh, well...
Charlie Daniels, A Decade of Hits.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a crash course.
iTunes, download that. Decade of Hits.
That's right. Nashville country rock.
Stroker Ace was born to race, huh?
For the record, I have no idea what these songs are either.
You know who Burt Reynolds is by any chance? Do you? All right.
He was Stroker Ace.
That's right. Yes.
All right.
That's good. Yeah. Anything else? Anything else? Yes.
How do you come up with your material for a weekend update?
How do you come up with the material for Weekend Update? How does that work?
Well, NBC, confused. They send me setups. Me and the other contributing writers, we get setups every day, Monday through Thursday, and so we just pick out whatever we think Seth is going to talk about and write punchlines, and so it helps to keep in that practice of writing every week, writing every day.
Do you remember a good one that you were excited about seeing on there? That
The very first one was a few years ago when Tim Tebow left college to the NFL.
Yeah.
This was my first joke that made the air. I was very happy about it. He said, I gotta get it right. Heisman Trophy winning quarterback Tim Tebow will be featured in a Super Bowl ad that speaks out against abortion. Note to NFL defenses next year, when Tebow runs the option, he's always going to keep it.
Hey, thanks everybody. Thanks you guys. Toby, Keith.